What's up, guys? So, this is episode 1 of a series I'm starting called Coming Clean. It's going to be a series of me talking about things that not many people know, things I've lied about, things I've done in addiction that I very much regret. We're kind of starting it off with my most sensitive topic. As you can see by the title, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to title it, but basically it's about losing someone that I loved more than anything in this world, besides my family, of course. About me pushing her away and losing her because of my addiction. I want to preface this by saying that as of right now, only her cousin's boyfriend, and my mom only know about this, and I just told my mom about this before recording this. So not many people know about this. But anyways, right into it. A few years ago, I had just gotten out of jail. Moved to Allentown with my brother. He took me in. I was in jail for stealing to get high. I was stealing movies and games, taking them to a store to sell them. I got caught, went to jail for 2 months. Probation for supposed to be 2 years, but I paid it off early, got off early. Anyways, moved to Allentown with my brother, started working a job at Amazon. And at this job, there was this girl. I'm not going to say her name. I'll give her a nickname. She always wore a shirt that had the words C-Deck on it, so we'll call her C-Deck. C-Deck, I seen her for the first time at Amazon. She was working there as well. The moment I seen her, there was a guy that I was friends with at work. I went up to him. I asked him if he knew who she was. And I told him I was going to marry that girl one day. Not thinking that anything would ever come of it, but something did end up coming of it. We started talking, started hanging out. At first it was just like a fling, you know what I mean, just hooking up, things like that. And mind you, I was clean this whole time. Clean, met her, started hanging out with her. Started hanging out more and more. Ended up developing feelings for each other. And we started dating. So, started dating, we were working at Amazon. We started hanging out every single day. We were inseparable. We were inseparable. I ended up moving in with her. She lived in her own little section of her father's house. Moved out of my apartment, was still paying for my share of the apartment, but moved out of my apartment, moved in with her, still clean. Ended up falling in love with this girl, and at one point I brought up to her, jokingly, that I wanted to get high. And I say jokingly, but in the back of my mind I was serious, and that soon came out that I was serious, that I wanted to get high. And she ended up taking me to get one time. Now, I used to shoot up. Long time ago I used to shoot up, before I went to jail. And that was her only stipulation, was that if I didn't shoot up, she wouldn't leave. So I took full advantage of that. I made her take me to get me drugs. And this just started escalating and escalating. It was to the point where we were going to Amazon, working for 10 to 12 hours. It was also an hour drive to Amazon from where we lived. So driving an hour to Amazon, working 10 to 12 hours, and then afterwards, I'd make her drive me another hour and a half away at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning for me to get drugs, for me to get dope, to get high. Obviously, she wasn't happy about it, but the girl loved me, and me being an addict, yes, I did love her as well. I always will. Me being an addict, I was like, all right, this girl loves me. You know, I can use that to my advantage. I can get high, make her take me, because at the time, my car was shit. So I had her take me, get high, and throughout the next few months, it would slowly start to escalate, and it got to the point where I was having her take out money off her credit cards to help pay for me to get high. And when I say that, I mean I took this girl for every single penny she fucking had. Every single penny she had. And of course she cared, but she loved me, so she did it. She did everything for me. She was literally the greatest girl ever. She every single thing I needed. When I was dope sick, laying in bed, this girl would rub my legs. She would do anything she could to help me, to try and get me to just get through the sickness, everything. And I just kept taking advantage of it. I had her lie to people. For example, the whole time that I was using that we were together, I had her lying to my mom, my brother, my brother's now wife, just everybody in my family. I had her lying for me so I could get money from other people. Just everything I could to get by, to get high. And anybody in active addiction will know what that's like. And yeah, it's really fucked up that I put such a good girl through something like that. I took her for every single penny she had, and then some. At one point, she was working and I wasn't, and I would be taking money from her. She was the only one working. I'd be taking money and going and getting high with it, while she would be sleeping to go to work the next night to help pay for my habit. Now, mind you, just so you guys get a little idea of how much this girl really did mean to me, as I said, I was in love with her. I was in love with her. We were trying for a family together. That's how much I thought she was going to be the one that I really did spend the rest of my life with. We were trying to have a kid together for over a year. We tried, and unfortunately it didn't happen. I'm sure at this point she's kind of glad it didn't happen, because obviously we're not together anymore. But I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I mean by she was the one for me. She was absolutely the one for me. She did everything for me. She cared about me more than any other girl I've ever had cared about me. And I just could not stop using. I couldn't stop. I would go a day or two, be sick, but I would go a day or two, and then, I mean, any addict knows, you know, once you get past the third or fourth day, you're okay. But I couldn't get past that third or fourth day. Third day would come, and I'd just be laying in bed for the third day in a row, and she wouldn't want to get me anything. I would do anything I could to talk her into getting me something. I would cry. I would flip out. I broke her TV at one point. Obviously, well, not obviously, but it was by accident. I got pissed off that she wouldn't take me, so I threw something. It bounced off of something else and broke her TV. I was just a complete piece of shit to this girl. And I'm really surprised she stayed with me as long as she did. Like I said, at one point I wasn't working. She was. She paid for my habit. At one point I was doing kind of okay, and we were both working at the same job, but I started getting dope again, dope and perks, and any days that I didn't have any, I would call off of work and make her go in while I stayed at home and just laid in bed. Now, any true man that wants to take care of his woman would do the opposite. They would have them stay home while he went and worked, which is what I should have done. But obviously, in active addiction, when you're sick, you don't want to get out of bed. You know, you're almost shitting your pants, you're puking, you're sweating, you're shaking. It's the most terrible feeling in the world besides the day that I lost her. That will always be the most painful thing I've ever gone through in my life. And doing the things that I did to her, it needs to get out there, and people need to know that if your loved one is in active addiction and doing things to you that isn't them, it's not them, it's the addiction. It's them just trying to do whatever they can to get high in that moment. When you're an addict, you have a one-track mind, and that track is waking up and getting high. So when you wake up and you're sick, first thing you're going to think about is, all right, how am I going to get high today? How am I going to get well today? Well, for me, it was taking advantage of her. And she put up with it for a very, very, very long time. We were together for about a year and a half, and I'd say for at least a year of it, I was getting high. And she kept telling me, you know, she can't do it anymore, and I kept telling her, all right, well, after today I'll stop. And then we'd go 2 days, all right, after tomorrow I'll stop. And it just kept going. It didn't stop. It did not stop. And it got to the point where, as much as it pains me to say this, I chose the drugs over her. A woman that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, someone I was trying to have a kid with that would do anything for me. I chose drugs over her. And that, besides hurting my mother and my family, that will always be the one thing that I will regret in my life. But I can say, as of right now, I am trying to make up for it. I am slowly giving this person money that I have taken from her. It's not much, but I am working my way towards making amends, which is part of recovery. People you've hurt, you need to make amends with them, unless doing so is going to hurt or injure them or others. And it's hard still seeing her, obviously, but she has moved on. So I am trying my best to move on. I've lied to a lot of people about her and told her, you know, it wasn't my fault we broke up. It was just losing feelings. She found a new man maybe a week after we broke up, which, yeah, we were together for a year and a half, and for her to find somebody new just a week after we broke up is, to some people, fucked up. But to me, I understood, because I put that girl down so much. I got her to her lowest point in her life. I degraded her, I humiliated her, I lied to her, anything I could, and I just killed her self-esteem, confidence, everything. So, in my eyes, she grabbed onto the first person that showed her true affection after we broke up. And I'm not mad at the man that she was with or is with. I think he's a decent guy. He has problems just like everyone else, but, you know, hopefully they can make it work out and be happy together. As much as that really kills me to say that, but I know me and her are never going to happen again just because of what I've done to her. I can't see her ever taking me back. So right now, I am just focusing on working on myself and bettering my own life. In my genetics, me, my brother, my father, we all feel the same way about women. We all feel like we need a woman there to help guide us and kind of be our I want to say rock, but not really, just a woman to motivate us, basically. And she was that woman for me, but I just couldn't get over that initial hump of going through the sickness to do it for her. I feel like I'm just rambling right now, but I just want to let everyone know that if you're in active addiction, or you know somebody that's in active addiction and they're doing things to people that you never thought they would do, it's not them, it's the addiction. And just making this video is a huge step for me personally, because as I said, there is not many people that know the truth about what happened. And not too long ago, I seen this person, and I told her my mom said hi, and she just got the saddest look on her face because of how much she lied for me. And it really just pained me to see that, because she is a very good person and she's not the lying type. It hurts her very bad when she lies, and I made her lie to all of my loved ones. We put on this big show whenever we were around everybody that everything was okay, but in reality, I was killing her inside and I was killing myself. And I just need people to know that if you're in active addiction, you need to get help. You can message me, message anybody that you know that can help you, and get help. Especially if you have somebody that you truly care about, somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Don't do what I did and lose it. Don't lose the best thing that ever happened to you like I did. This video was very hard for me to get the courage up to make. So if you guys can please like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to try and do a few different kinds of videos. Like this Coming Clean will be a series that I'm going to do. I'm also going to do another series called War Stories, which is stories about me in active addiction, like the time I had a shotgun pulled on me, and just staring down the barrel of a shotgun was not a good time for me, but that is a story for another day. Finding somebody that I love that is very close to me overdosed, that's another story. There's just so many things that happen to me in active addiction, and I want to be able to share it so people that have gone through the same thing can relate and see that if I can make it, so can everyone else. I was a full-blown addict. I was shooting up. At one point, I was just like, I accepted it, that Mike the addict was who I was going to die as. I was okay with the fact that I was going to do everything I could every day to get high, and at some point I was going to die because of it. I came to terms with that, and I accepted it. Actually, overdosing for the last time that I did was the true wake-up call for me. It was after I lost her. I went on a huge bender, and, well, not a huge bender, honestly, but I wanted to get high, and I wanted to die. I was suicidal. I was depressed. I had nothing going for me. The only girl that I ever loved in my whole entire life, truly, that I wanted to have a family and kids with, was gone. And yes, I had my family, but anybody that loves somebody knows the pain that comes with losing somebody that you truly, truly love and want to spend the rest of your life with. Now, like, if my mom passed away or my father passed away, it would be the same thing, but it's just hard trying to live with that every day. But all you can do is work towards bettering yourself and making sure that you make amends with the ones that you have done wrong. I appreciate everybody for watching. Again, everybody that watched my first video, it means so much to me that this is actually doing something for somebody. So if you can just share the video, like it, comment on it, subscribe to me if you're not subscribed, it would mean a whole lot to me. And I'll probably post my next video on Friday or Saturday. Yeah, I love you all, and thank you for watching. Peace.